Hello and welcome to another analysis behind the news, where we provide the perspective that you can use to help save American liberty and independence. Today we have two action items for you, so please stay tuned. In the last couple of weeks, we've seen some Democrats try to one-up each other in regards to their own radical agendas for America. And so basically to help countersteer President Trump's agenda, they are now overcorrecting and could eventually find themselves careening into the ditch. The best example of this is Representative Maxine Waters. The New Americans Freedom Index scores her latest session of Congress at a dismal 10%. That means she adheres to the Constitution only 10% of the time with her votes in Congress. Anyway, she recently suggested her supporters publicly harass Trump administration officials. And of course, these supporters followed through in a number of instances. And it's this type of rhetoric that prompted Judicial Watch to file an ethics complaint to the Office of Congressional Ethics. Others on the left are also calling for the Immigration and Customs Enforcement Agency, or ICE, to be abolished. In fact, this was one of the campaign planks of Democratic socialist Alexandria Cortez, who bumped out an established Democrat in a New York City congressional primary. Even self-described socialist Bernie Sanders is feeling the heat as he declined to support the Abolish ICE movement. Radical leftists jumped on him through social media to brand him a centrist and even a neoliberal shill. Now, let's add to this the difficulty that President Trump has had with the Republican Party establishment. These are the never-Trumpers who don't like their party boat rocked. They have come out in opposition to many of President Trump's America First initiatives. These are also the same GOP leaders that have helped to firmly establish the D.C. swamp that quickly swallows up anyone going to D.C. to clean up or drain the swamp. The Facebook movie series appropriately entitled The Swamp gives much evidence to support this. So, what are we to make of all this? Well, let's go back to March of 1960, when JBS founder Robert Welch wrote this in the JBS Member Monthly Bulletin. Many of our leaders of both parties are, for the temporary advancement of their political ambitions, helping with all their clever might to bring about this surrender. And he's writing about the surrender of sovereignty to tyranny. All of them know, and some of them intend, that their support of our enemies, in exchange for our enemies' support of themselves, will help to enslave their countrymen. They count on the ignorance, the apathy, the opportunism, and the moral callousness of the American people to make possible the fulfillment of their megalomaniacal dreams. Each is concerned primarily with how to outwit his rivals by making his dependability from the communist point of view more visible to the communist and less visible to patriotic Americans. Only once before, we believe, in Athens in the time of Alcibiades, has any nation ever been so mercilessly betrayed by its own most honored citizens. So on the surface, it's left versus right. But when you begin to closely examine the record, you begin to see that both the left and the right house establishment globalists that have a common bond of surrendering American sovereignty to the New World Order building agenda of globalists. Even back in September of 1960, Mr. Welch mentioned what the Republican Party will do in order to stop Americanism from within. Once again, he wrote in the bulletin, "For I think that the left-wing pressures within the Republican Party will so steadily increase as to smother all efforts, no matter how powerful or skillfully led, to make Americanist views effective." So don't count on the Republican Party, or any political party for that matter, to protect American sovereignty and liberty. The fight is not left versus right. It's liberty versus tyranny. It's Americanism versus collectivism. So, we have to ask, are you a globalist or an Americanist? Do you support building a new world order that will see American standards of living drastically drop so that America can just be a cog in the globalist wheel? Or do you support a governmental system that protects individual rights and allows you to keep the fruits of your labor? It's an interesting discussion to get into with others. In fact, we have just come out with this inexpensive Slim Jim that asks the globalist or Americanist question. It works great as an icebreaker for booths or tables at street fairs, county fairs, gun shows, parades, or any patriotic community event. Perhaps even for an inexpensive giveaway at speeches or DVD showings. And since they are sold in packs of 25 for $3, we suggest taking advantage of price breaks at the 2-pack or even the 5-pack levels to get even greater savings. So that's action item number 1. Action item number 2 is to apply for membership in the John Birch Society, where you can put your talents and skills to good use at combating the globalist agenda while protecting and promoting Americanism. Links are in the description. So until next time, we'll see you then.